Tablets and alcohol don't mix well. No.
Okay, we're here in, what's the town called?
Oh, Beluru Centre.
The town's called Beluru Centre?
Yes, that's right, yeah. Originally the town was set up about 20 k's out of town, but back in the olden days this used to be the crossroads. So everyone used to come down here, so they shifted the town down here, so that's how it gets Beluru Centre.
And now how long have you owned this bakery?
About 14 years.
14 years?
Yeah.
Okay, and where did you come from before that?
My husband and I moved over from Penrith in Sydney, and yeah, after some family court issues, we got to relocate, so we came to Beluru Centre.
Okay, and what made you pick this town?
Oh, well, my husband already lived in Renmark, South Australia already, so he's familiar with the area, but yeah, it was just a sort of a backstop actually, or our getaway holiday home. But after family court we decided that this is where we have to live to get the decision from family court, so that's what we did.
Do you want to explain that a bit more? That's a bit confusing.
Oh, okay, so my husband got full custody of his twin girls when they were 3. So that is, and through that 7 years of litigation with his ex-partner, we come through family court, and that's how we became aware of how corrupt and everything was then, and that's what opened our eyes up then. So through family court, we were trying to get no contact, and at that stage the kids were 7. So we'd gone through AVOs, lawyers, child psychologists, all the works, and the final, and Mitch even quit his job, went as a stay-at-home dad, and because we lived apart then, and it worked in our favour, and he became a stay-at-home dad, and the lawyers didn't like that because they couldn't get the money. So then 6 months later, all of a sudden we had a court case happening, a court date. So, you know, axe murderers can get access to their kids these days. It's really wrought. So for us to minimise the access for the children, we decided to relocate. And this is what we did.
Okay, so this is the bakery?
Yes.
What's its name?
Boolaroo Bakery Takeaway. It used to be a bakery back in the late 1800s, early 1900s, so the building's pretty old. When we first moved here, we wanted to keep the bakery name, just so the locals wouldn't lynch us, but because we were out-of-towners. But yeah, so originally everyone knows it as a bakery because it was a bakery and a butcher back in the old days, and they used to hang carcasses out the front as well. So yeah, there's a picture up on the wall there.
Might take a picture.
Yeah.
How long does it take to become a local when you move to a town this small?
A while, I think. You know, even though we own a business in the town, yeah, look, yeah, they're all individuals here, so, and they all, you know, have their thing happening, but that's okay. But we're here to provide a service, and that's how we do it, and that's how we like it, really. You know, we're just pretty private people. So
well, I've been told to come. You're private and I'm doing this video of you, but I've been told to come, and everyone's saying you've got to go talk to her. So what was it like when the COVID started, and how it affected the town?
Okay, well, it's only a small town and it's an old town, so there's a lot of old people here. So obviously they were all freaking out, thinking that they were gonna catch it and die or whatever you get from it. So yeah, so it did affect it. Like when they were told to, you know, lock down, everyone stayed inside, but we didn't, because we actually fell under the essential workers, being a takeaway or cafe or something like that. So we just thought, oh, screw, stuff that, we're going down the street anyway, and if we get pulled over, which we didn't. So, we just, we're going to the shop, got things to do, so it didn't really matter. And it's pretty casual out here. I mean, we do have a police officer in the town, but he's really good, and it's a shame he's actually leaving. So he'd be like one of the last Mohicans, I would say. He's really good. He's really good. One of the old school, but we're going to lose him and get someone special, I guess. So, but yeah, as for COVID, everyone sort of complied. Everyone wore their masks when they had to. Everyone watched out for everybody, which really doesn't fit our stream of lifestyle. But
and then what happened with the troubles? Was it you didn't wear masks, or you didn't start complying? Something?
Yeah. Well, I actually worked at the local supermarket as well, and I was running that on the weekends. And when the mask issue came in, my daughter worked there as well, and we just blatantly just didn't want to wear them because, personally, I have my own thoughts about what it means. Whether, whether it be ritual or whatever, I'd never wore one, ever. Didn't even,
Really?
No, not ever. And eventually I did get an exemption. So I just went under that for a little while, but I actually did get one from the doctor, surprisingly, which we all know that, they're being suppressed and all that sort of stuff about that. So, so we never wore masks, and then people started to complain at the local supermarket that Sandra's not wearing a mask, So it came to a point where I spoke to Yogi and just said, look, if I'm going to compromise your business, then I can't work here. And he goes, oh, no. He wanted to keep me on. He said I was a good worker, so he offered me work after hours. So it didn't compromise his business, and he still got a worker, and I still, got the benefits from working down there. So that was the start, and then it just snowballed from there. And we had visits from the local police officer twice about not wearing masks in my own shop.
I was just going, no.
So, where'd Margot? So that's when it all started. Someone complained that I wasn't wearing one in my own store, and I just said to the cop, they're only just directions, they're not rules, they're not this, they're not that, So, and then it sort of just went on from there. So twice.
So someone in the town was dobbing you in?
Well, I don't... Look, someone out there has got a grudge or a gripe with not complying. I'm guessing that's how I'm going to say it, because I just got wind the other week that there was a fourth time that someone had complained that I wasn't wearing a mask in my own shop, and they say that was an anonymous phone call from someone from the community, but they don't divulge whether it was a male or female or names or anything like that. But the last one, which was the fourth time that I've been dobbed in, they said that I wasn't actually wearing one at the supermarket as well. So, as I said before, I work after hours, so someone's actually taken their time out of their day to watch me do my personal things and dobble me there as well. So, I don't know. I can't say who it is, or I don't know. But, yeah.
And what's the trespass? No trespassing on the door?
Okay, that was my husband Mitch. He saw that from some cafes, I think.
Passing in the background?
Yeah. So we've been watching closely what's been happening with businesses and things like that, and apparently businesses fall under Commonwealth jurisdiction. So when the police come in, that state jurisdiction, so really they don't have anything to say to me when they come in here. So we read there, and we got onto Fair something, I forget what it is now, somewhere that they actually provided this information for you to put on your doors and things like that. So that's what the trespassing is. The locals know what we're like, but they come in and they look at the door and they go, and they read and go, oh, what, are we allowed in? But it's just make awareness, really. But that's what the trespassing's all about. And there was one time a police officer from Peterborough, apparently she was, bursted through my doors, came straight to the counter and said to me in some authoritative voice that she's here to do a compliance check, COVID compliance check. And I just went, excuse me, what? So just totally contempt, because she was here to try and intimidate. And I broke it down in the end, I think, because by the end, she's saying, asking me questions, obviously, why I don't. I said I got an exemption, and she says just making sure you comply. And I said, well, she goes, because if you don't, there could be fines. I said, well, they're not even laws, they're only rules, so, they don't bother me. And she's like, oh, okay, right, well, just here to just check and see what you're doing and all this sort of stuff. So, yeah, she was probably straight out of boot camp, I think. She was pretty keen to get in here and try and bust some ass, but she didn't. She didn't, so that's okay. But
had much trouble since?
No, people just came in. Oh, okay, we get the kids down from the school. So the kids, have been told just to, not listen to the bakery and keep your mask on, just quietly. But yeah, look, it doesn't bother me. It's a free choice, and this is what I tell people.
Sorry, I just got to say that, repeat that. Don't listen to the baker.
Yeah, don't listen to the bakery, they said. But even so, I've had, what's his name? Dan Van Hulst Pelican's office ring me. They rang me as well, and she said that they had a member of the community that was concerned because I actually have a sign in my window. The post office got robbed a couple of months ago, right? And obviously he had a COVID mask on and a hoodie. Okay, so the detectives come in, and they were asking us about our CCTV. And I said, well, I'm going to put a sign up to say, remove your masks when you come in, because how do we know what they're going to do when they come in? So anyway, so we went ahead and did that, and someone complained about that. So she rang up, this lady from the office, Liberal office, rang up and she asked me about the sign, and I told her straight. I said, look, I don't wear one. I don't expect anyone to wear one, but it's their own choice, because they're under the assumption that I tell them that they have to remove it. And I said, I don't. And I'm not taking the sign down either. So she's okay. And I haven't heard from them since either. But, you just got to be straight up. You really do. I mean, if you call them out, 90% of the time, 99% of the time, they all back down because they've got nothing else to say but the script that they've got in front of them to say, follow these rules. You know what I'm saying? So
I leave that there.
That's right. Some of this. Are you recording this?
I'll start it here now. Okay. So first off, tell us.
Mitchell Sard.
And how long you two been married? Or together, whatever.
Don't ask him. 20 years. 20 years.
Too long.
20 years. 20 years.
Okay, so we're in this small country town, and it's the question is, the people are saying we're at war, and I often feel that, and it's like they say it's a spiritual war, and our freedom's been eroded. But to you, each separately, what is or was Australia, and what should it be?
Oh, well, when I was growing up, you were free. The police just did their job, and they actually obeyed the Constitution. And now they've gone Gestapo, and that's not their job. Their job is to protect us, not the politicians, because they're the criminals, not us. And we pay their wages. And back when I was growing up, you could basically. I feel sorry for our kids today. I really do, because if they think this is normal, this is like communist, like it used to be Russia, not like it is now. So, no, it's just not on for the kids.
Yeah, pretty much the same. Well, we're a bit of a generation gap between us, but growing up was free, and what it is today is, no one can think for themselves. I see that a lot, especially amongst this community, well, even amongst our own kids, that they're waiting for the next step to tell you, and we tell them lots of things, valuable information, but it seems to seep out one ear and they're just willing to follow, what everyone else has got to say, which, with the majority, they're all leading down the garden path from the government. So, what Australia is today is very sad. I'm not concerned. I mean, I'm sure everything's on a path and a destiny, but, makes you wonder how deep these claws really are within this country. Oh, well, in the world, we all know, but we just got to concentrate what's here because we are here. We're not, in Russia. We're not in America or anything like that. So,
I'll give you one more question. I'll give it to the big guy. So I've been driving around for a few weeks now, but I've driven over a lot of Australia. But now I've never driven it since this has all happened. And wherever I see free space, I see a huge sky. Freedom is just everywhere. Why do so many of our brothers and sisters, with all this freedom, crave control?
I blame it on the idiot box. The media, it's just brainwashing. I mean, Hitler would have loved this type of technology. He would have run amok, mate. He would have put them in those camps even quicker.
wait, that could be still on the cards.
Don't give him any ideas.
There's something happening here, but what it is ain't exactly clear. There's a man with a gun over there, telling me I've got to beware. I think it's time we stop, children. What's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Battle lines being drawn. Nobody's right if everybody's wrong.